Hello, viewers. This is Paladin of Odin, and this is some more Magic the Gathering Online. This is another episode of the Standard Commentary Series. And Green-White Scales versus Bant Aggro. Scales just threw down a Managorger Hydra and followed it up with his second Oath of Nissa, finding another land. He also has his Hardened Scales and Servant of the Scale. Aggro has a Reflector Mage in play. Another Reflector Mage I was just about to say it would be a really good play here, because then it'll bounce the Managorger Hydra. And, an out of control Hydra is almost guaranteed death. Now, the great thing about Bant Aggro is that it has a few more options than a Scales deck would to get rid of a Hydra like that. He plays a Hangerback Walker for 2, which comes out as a 3/3. Like I was saying, Bant has, lots of bounce. It has every option that Scales has, Jamoka's Command, Silk Wrap, Stasis Snare, but it also has the options of bounces and tap cards. You don't see it a lot, but there's Icy Blast, Icefall Regent, Claustrophobe. Is that right? The 2 blue and 1 generic enchantment, Claustrophobia, the one that taps it and keeps it tapped. So that is one thing Bant has going for it, is it has a lot of options to take care of something like a Managorger Hydra that don't necessarily kill it outright. Oh wow, a third Oath of Nissa after playing his Hydra again. So Hydra is currently a 3/3. Now, a more hard kill answer that Bant has is Death Mist Raptor. The only problem is that Hydra has trample. So even throwing the Raptor in front of him, which will kill it because of Death Touch, you're gonna be taking quite a bit of damage in trampling over. Especially given the possibility of this thing, who knows how big it'll be by then. Right now it's a 5/5. Throwing down a Death Mist Raptor will turn it into a 7/7. I'm trying to think, what could he play here that would be helpful? Okay, throws down a Dramoka's Command to make him sack a enchantment, which will be the Oath of Nissa, and Reflector Mage kills off the Endless One. So now the Hydra's a 7/7. Aggro, wow, he has 7 cards in his hand versus Scales 1. And a third Reflector Mage. I have to say, it's just perfect timing, you know? Reflector Mage back to back to back against these Hydras. It's the perfect response for, a turn or two, giving him the possibility of drawing a more permanent answer. So Hangerback Walker's a 5/5. He throws down an Abzan Falconer, so now all of his creatures with 1/1 counters on him have flying. Sends the Servant in for 2. Bant can't do anything about it. He takes the 2. So he's at 18, and he's still stuck on 3 mana so far. That does limit him, but he has a lot of cards that he can play for 3 mana. Unfortunately, some of them, like Death Mist Raptor, he can't. Well, he could throw it down as a morph, but that wouldn't really help him all that much, since he needs the Death Touch. Managorger Hydra's response with Bounding Crassus. And tapping the Hangerback Walker So in response, he'll buff it up. But at least he's not taking 7 damage this turn. And the Crassus comes out before the Hydra does, so the Hydra's still a 1-1. And he chooses not to attack this turn. Second main phase. Oh, that's big trouble. A second Hydra. So far, Bant has been able to handle the Hydra because it's only one of them, and he has the answers for one-on-one. But now he has to deal with 2 Hydras, and every answer for one of them buffs up the other one. But he did get his 4th mana. So, for example, he could throw down a Stasis Snare, though he's in a really bad spot here. He's got a 9/9 Hangerback Walker, 2 Mana Gorger Hydras, and all of his creatures with +1/+1 counters have flying. And there's the Stasis Snare. And that's the problem here. You know, he's probably going to get rid of the Hangerback Walker because that thing is brutal right now, but it turns the Hydra into a 5/5, turns the other one into a 3/3. So, limiting the damage, but at the same time, things are just working out very well for Scales. Outlasting the Abzan Falconer, so now all of his creatures have flying. And at this point, I was about to say, he would have to have either played a land and then followed it up with Planar Outburst, or End Hostilities, or I was just trying to think, Crush of Tentacles wouldn't have worked because he wouldn't have been able to surge it, so he had very, very few answers available to his deck, and he didn't have them. And that's just what a Scales deck can do. It's like an out of control steamroller when things like this happen. And I think I'm going to end the video there. This match went on a little long, so a second game is going to take too long, honestly. So that was Green White Scales versus Bant Aggro. And if you liked what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I'll see you in the next video.